I'm honored to have been requested, and it's always fun to be with a fellow tanker, too. I want to acknowledge the other network chiefs who is with us today. Steve Yates of Radio Free Asia. Steve, where you at? Nice to see you. And a note of appreciation, too, to the Voice of American Journalist staff and to all those watching and listening. I've sat down for interviews with many of you in the far corners of the world. They have always been a joy. And speaking of which, too, I understand that this speech is being broadcast on TV, radio, on your website, social media, in more than 40 languages. Hats off to the translators. I have no idea how anyone can translate my talking into Uzbek this quickly. King's March on Washington. We've made good on our founding promise time and time again. Now, our adversaries try and claim otherwise. When the Chinese Communist Party attempted to exploit the tragic death of George Floyd to claim their authoritarian system, but amid the most difficult challenge, the United States secures freedom. There is no moral equivalence. This is a self-evident truth. It is not fake news for you to broadcast that this is the greatest nation in the history of the world and the greatest nation that civilization has ever known. Indeed, I'm not saying this to ignore our faults. Indeed, just the opposite. It is to acknowledge them. But this isn't the vice of America, focusing on everything that's wrong with our great nation. It's the voice of America. It certainly isn't the place to give authoritarian regimes in Beijing or Tehran a platform. Your mission is to promote democracy, freedom, and American values all across the world. It's a U.S. taxpayer-funded institution aimed squarely at that. Indeed, this is what sets VOA apart from MSNBC and Fox News and the like. You can give voice to the voiceless in dark corners of the world. You're the voice of American striving.
Hey, people, how's it going? And Jesus here. We have got some really crazy stuff going down with Trump. Yeah, I mean, senators tried to stand up for him, and it seems like he is, they're making the senators out like they're on a terrorist list and they can't even fly on jets. That's pushing it a little bit too far. So Christians need to take this personally and don't let our freedoms get taken.
This burrito is delicious, but it is filling. Anthony and Cleopatra!
What the hell, bro?
Hello, neighbor.
Did you just throw a burrito out your window? Huh?
I believe I did.
What, are you high or something?
Whoa.
Did you see what happened?
I did see. That was a terrific little spill. That's quite a raspberry.
That's my chopper you just thrashed, bros of.
Easy, compadre. I'm your friend out here, all right?
I want you to fix my chopper before I stomp your goofy ass.
If you want to throw down in fisticuffs, fine. I've got Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary waiting for you, right here.
You destroyed the only thing I love. All right? There it is. What do you love?
I love poetry. And a glass of scotch. And, of course, my friend Baxter here.
Well, guess what? Now this is happening.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you doing?
That's how I roll.
Baxter. Huh? No!
I'm not saying kill dogs, but the dog is a symbol of big tech and our freedoms being taken away from us. Really good thing that I woke up this morning and I thought of, and it's Ezekiel 34:10. I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. So this is like the government. God is going to cause them to stop feeding the flock. And when the flock doesn't have food to eat, and neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore. Government so the won't be able to feed themselves. All this making their increases, giving themselves raises, All this is going to take effect. This is what God said. And I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. So that's pretty major. They're not going to be eaten by the government. We are not. We're going to stand up. We're not going to be eaten.
Bring me something to eat when she got off of work. She gonna tell me that food in the refrigerator. Where? Where is the food? Because if there was food in the refrigerator, I would not be calling you. There is never nothing to eat except some nasty ramen noodles from 3,000 years ago when Jesus and Moses was on the earth, and then there's some expired milk. Now, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to raise your children, but this ain't how you're supposed to raise me.